You're looking at Mercedes-Benz's first electric car to be sold in Australia. It's the EQC SUV, and it's about the same size as the well-known GLC. Now, it doesn't arrive here until October of this year, where it will wear a sticker price somewhere under $150,000 and take on the likes of the Jaguar I-Pace and the Tesla Model X. Now, it's not on sale anywhere in the world yet. This is just a prototype, and it's been doing cold weather testing in the Nordic regions of Europe and hot weather testing in South Africa. But it's here today to give us a closer look at its wares. A few quick specs. It's got an 80 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery pack in the floor. It's got electric motors on each axle, and it has a WLTP range of more than 400 kilometers. It's a pretty exciting prospect, not just for Mercedes-Benz buyers, but for the market as a whole, as we finally gear up to join the worldwide EV revolution. Come on, let's take a quick look.
In lieu of a full review, which will have to wait until we get more wheel time than today's quick preview afforded us, let's just run you through some basics. The Mercedes EQ sub-brand, short for electric intelligence apparently, is an umbrella term for the company's growing range of EVs. There will be around 10 of them by 2022. This mid-sized SUV with a 500-litre boot and seating for 5 makes sense as a starting point. It's not overtly sporty like the Jag I-Pace, but offers a good balance of practicality and dynamism. The 650 kilo battery array made by LG and assembled in Germany uses rubber mounts, while the Michelin Pilot Sport low rolling resistance rubber produces minimal road noise. Serenity is at the heart of the EQC, something that's alluring to Benz buyers, and that's according to copious market research. The 80 kilowatt hour battery pack powers 2 electric motors, one for low speeds on the front axle and one that kicks in under dynamic driving at the rear axle. Both can shuffle torque across their respective axles as well, giving you fully variable all-wheel drive. The outputs are 300 kilowatts of peak power and an instantaneous 765 newton meters of torque, giving you a decent 0 to 100 km/h sprint time of 5.1 seconds. Okay, that's not quite Tesla Model X pace, but Mercedes reckons comfort and quietness are more important to its buyers. Interestingly, it can also tow 1,800 kilos. The NEDC driving range is 450 kilometers, while the WLTP expected range is around 400, even though the power consumption is 22.2 kilowatt hours per 100 Ks. Something doesn't seem to add up there, but then again consider there is a 5-stage adjustable brake regeneration system recuperating energy. A DC charger will top you up from 10% to 80% in just 40 minutes, while a wall box with a 7.4 kilowatt onboard cable will be sold with the car for overnight charging. The MBUX infotainment system also has live traffic updates and takes you to nearby charging stations. Interestingly, there's an air suspension setup at the front that's easier to package with the battery, and steel springs at the rear. This odd setup is kept under control by the weight distribution being low and the super stiff monocoque. That's according to Benz's engineers. While our passenger ride was incredibly brief, the pace our prototype carried through corners thanks to its low centre of gravity and roll axis, combined with the ride comfort and noise isolation, was frankly quite striking. Mercedes has made 455 prototypes and tested them all over the world, racking up 2.5 million test kilometres in the process. Apparently that's about double what the GLC did in its development. It's also crashed many of these into walls to test the structural safety, with safety being the #1 priority. The chief tester Carl told me this was his most exhaustive program to date. The interior uses the familiar MBUX infotainment with Alexa or Siri-style voice control, though some of the material and touch points are new, and the familiar Benz minimalist approach carries over. It's as well packaged and roomy as a typical large SUV. Mercedes Australia has been taking pre-orders for a while now, and has hundreds of what it calls registrations of interest. Most of these are current GLE, GLC or even S-Class owners, and we suspect it's the same story for Audi and Jaguar. If you order one today, you'll be waiting until 2020, since the initial allocation is already spoken for. Tesla might have led the way, but Mercedes-Benz and its luxury rivals are about to give some stiff competition indeed, especially since the EQC will be priced between a GLC 43 AMG and its fiery GLC 63 sibling, both models that sell in their thousands.
It would be disingenuous of me to pretend that I know all the ins and outs of the EQC. Yes, it's it's going to have to wait a few months until we drive it properly. But I think more fundamentally, it's genuinely exciting that no matter what your luxury brand of choice, by the end of 2019, you're probably going to have an electric car to choose from. And in first impressions, the EQC ticks most of the boxes when it comes to offering a no-compromise electric SUV. I, for one, cannot wait to see this car on Aussie roads.